There is a man standing on the bank of the lake. His wife comes to him and then he turns and looks at her. Suddenly, he feels as if something has taken over him and without hesitation, he immediately jumps into the river. His wife cries profusely, pleading, "Leave his life, take me in return for it." Miraculously, her husband emerges from the water, seemingly in a completely normal state. His wife rushes to help him, but suddenly, supernatural forces pull her into the water. Despite his efforts, something within the water seems to be dragging her down. It turns out that mermaids are responsible for this act. They took her because they had spared the husband's life in exchange for his wife's. As the husband struggles to save her, the mermaids persist in their claim. Following this, the scene shifts to another couple. The man challenges his partner, a woman named Roma, to a swimming race. He leaves Marina at the edge of the pool and proceeds to compete. Unbeknownst to him, Marina, on her own, attempts to swim. When their swimming is over, he comes and sees that Marina is drowning. Upon witnessing this, Roma immediately jumps in and saves Marina from the clutches of death. After this incident, a significant clash occurs between the two of them. Subsequently, Roma goes to a house located on the edge of the lake with his friend. This house happens to belong to Roma's father. Roma confides in his friend about his mother's tragic demise and his father's subsequent descent into madness. It's revealed that the man standing on the edge of the lake is actually Roma's father. The mermaids were responsible for drowning and killing Roma's mother. Roma's friend takes him to a bachelor party since Roma is on the brink of getting married. During their visit, they notice that the basement of the house is filled with water, sparking their curiosity. It's possible this water came here due to sewerage damage or rainfall, causing it to accumulate, they speculate. Later, more friends arrive for the party. During this time, Roma's mood is a bit off, prompting him to leave the gathering and sit by the same lake. He attempts to call Marina, but she's preoccupied with important tasks. Feeling compelled, Roma decides to swim in the lake. As Roma swims, he notices another presence. Emerging from the water, he spots a girl combing her hair. This realization leads him to suspect that she might be a mermaid. Intrigued, he approaches her, and they meet. The girl gives him a sly smile and asks, "Do you love me?" Meanwhile, Marina is trying to reach Roma, but he remains unresponsive. As morning breaks, Roma's friends search for him and find him unconscious at the edge of the lake. Upon awakening, he inquires about the girl, presuming she's a mermaid. His friends notice a comb on the ground, similar to the one found in Marina's clothes. After this incident, Roma's health deteriorates slightly, and his performance suffers. Concerned, his coach advises him that he needs more practice. One day, while bathing after training, something peculiar occurs. The mermaid appears behind him and asks, "Do you love me?" Startled, he quickly turns around, but the mermaid vanishes. Roma returns home feeling increasingly unwell, now running a fever. Marina suspects Roma's health issues stem from excessive training. At one point, Roma feels someone tickling him and assumes it's Marina. He snaps at the unseen presence before realizing no one's there. Marina administers medicine to Roma and helps him to bed, then discusses his health with his sister. Marina suggests Roma might have found someone else, revealing the comb as evidence. Olga, Roma's sister, is greatly surprised upon seeing the comb. Upon seeing pictures of her father and mother, Olga notices the same comb. The next day, during Roma's training, he suddenly leaps into the pool, only to find himself back in the same lake. As he emerges from the water, the mermaid reappears, asking him once again, "Do you love me?" Roma denies any affection, causing the mermaid to shout at him, leading to Roma falling unconscious at the edge of the pool. Efforts to revive him prove futile. Following this incident, Roma's condition worsens significantly, requiring hospitalization. He reveals the entire story to everyone, recounting his encounter with the girl and the subsequent strange occurrences. Olga probes further, asking Roma where he first encountered the girl. He explains it was at the lake's edge, where she wore his shirt and kissed him. Upon hearing this, Marina becomes furious and storms away. Roma tries to follow Marina, but his weakness impedes his movement. Suddenly, Marina hears a voice and veers in a different direction. Meanwhile, Roma enters a room and encounters the mermaid. Before Marina arrives, the door shuts, trapping Roma inside. As everyone attempts to open the door, the mermaid assaults Roma once again. Observing the situation, Olga quickly comprehends what's happening. She rushes him to her father. Initially resistant, her father instructs them to leave. However, after hearing Olga's explanations, he initially dismisses them. Yet, upon witnessing Roma's dire condition, he realizes the gravity of the situation. He begins weeping and urges Roma not to heed the mermaid's words, cautioning that she'll take him away. He recounts the incident from 20 years ago when the mermaid appeared in the lake, tormenting everyone and attempting to lure people. Despite efforts, Roma's mother, in an attempt to save her, was taken by the mermaid. Roma's father reveals that he still vividly remembers her, not referring to his wife, but the mermaid he has never forgotten. After this revelation, everyone heads to the lake except for Roma and Marina, who remain at home. Olga, accompanied by Roma's friend Leah, ventures to the lake. There, Olga encounters danger in the water but manages to save Leah's life and bring her to the shore. Olga learns the mermaid's name, Lisa Gregorieva. Meanwhile, Marina spots a woman in a neighboring house and decides to investigate. To her surprise, it's the ghost of Roma's mother. The ghost reveals that before her demise, she was involved in a ritual and cryptically states, "Take what is yours and give me what is mine." This deeply unsettles Marina, prompting her swift return to Roma's house. Arriving at Roma's, Marina witnesses a disturbing sight. An ominous force is dragging Roma toward the basement. Acting quickly, she rushes to aid Roma, pulling him away from the malevolent pull. Suddenly, the mermaid emerges from the basement, resuming her attempt to pull Roma. Marina retaliates, launching an attack on the mermaid and successfully rescues Roma. They seal the place shut with a nail to prevent further intrusion. Olga sheds light on an old tradition. Those who committed suicide weren't buried in graveyards but instead at the lake's shore. Olga speculates that Lisa Gregorieva might have ended her life this way, burying herself by the lake. She further explains that the mermaid's power resides in her hair, emphasizing the significance of not taking her womb. Marina shares insights about Roma's mother, referencing her ritual, which belongs to their cultural heritage. Determined, Marina requests Leah to wait outside the cottage as she ventures in to initiate the ritual herself. Meanwhile, Leah encounters the mermaid outside and is asked, "Do you love me?" Leah, unaware of the consequences, replies positively, and the mermaid possesses her. Additionally, the mermaid seizes control of Roma, compelling them both to head towards the basement. Witnessing this, Olga tries to intervene, but the possessed Roma attacks her. Inside, Marina, after attempting various approaches to the ritual, finally initiates it correctly. She places the mermaid's comb into the water and, facing the mirror, utters, "Take back what is yours and restore my love to me." This action marks the crucial moment in the ritual. Instantly, the comb vanishes and the mermaid submerges Marina's head in the water, revealing her past. Marina witnesses a heartbreaking sequence where a boy promising marriage betrays her by marrying someone else. In a fit of rage and despair, she kills him and subsequently commits suicide by jumping into a river. It's this tragic act that transforms her into a mermaid, leading her to ensnare and drown countless men in the same waters where she met her end. In the basement, Roma regains consciousness and rushes back to the cottage. Inside, he finds Leah also under the mermaid's control. Meanwhile, the mermaid, now manifesting as Marina, confronts Roma, once again posing the question, "Do you love me?" This time, Roma is able to discern the genuine Marina amidst the deception. Roma professes his love to Marina, breaking the hold of the possession. The following morning, everything seems back to normal. However, the mermaid, possessing Leah, responds to Roma's admission of love, affirming it. She drags Leah to the basement, with Roma following closely behind. Despite Roma's desperate attempts to save her, the mermaid overtakes Leah. Once again, she attacks Roma, claiming she'll take everything from him. Marina and Olga arrive, aiding Roma's escape. He hastily leaves the area, but their car abruptly breaks down shortly after they've traveled a distance. Roma goes to inspect the car, but it starts raining. Suddenly, he spots the mermaid, causing water to fill the car. It becomes evident that Mermaid intends to separate Marina from Roma. Roma breaks the glass, rescuing Marina and Olga. Olga wonders why Mermaid persists despite returning her comb, leading Roma to realize he shouldn't have let her go. He rushes to the lake, with Marina following closely. However, Marina is attacked and rendered unconscious before reaching the lake. Mermaid confronts Roma once again, questioning his love. He affirms his love, but Mermaid accuses him of loving another girl, launching an attack. Meanwhile, Olga, in the basement, performs a ritual using Marina as a sacrifice to secure her future spouse in place of her brother. Marina pleads with Olga to stop, but Olga remains unyielding. Roma's father intervenes, urging Olga not to proceed, emphasizing that this aligns with Mermaid's intentions. Olga relents and rushes to the scene. Olga's father pleads with Mermaid to spare them and take him instead, declaring his love for her. In response, Mermaid attacks Olga's father and takes Olga with her. Olga tries to rescue her father by grabbing Mermaid's hair, while Marina, freed from her restraints, uses scissors to cut Mermaid's hair. Mermaid, in her demonic form, suffers immensely upon losing her hair, retaliating by attacking Olga and taking her away. Marina, unable to save Olga's father, rushes to Roma's aid. She explains to Roma that Mermaid's true power lies not in her hair but within her being. Roma, upon hearing this, loses consciousness. Marina, realizing the source of Mermaid's power, sacrifices herself by cutting her own hair, weakening Mermaid. Roma, witnessing Marina's plight, jumps into the water, rescues her, and brings her ashore. As time passes, Marina regains consciousness, symbolizing their victory over Mermaid's malevolent forces. The movie concludes, highlighting their triumph over Mermaid's power through their unwavering love for each other.